Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Ashland Two-Night News. Today is Wednesday, October 24th, and here's a look at today's top stories.
Last week's International Cafe presented Armenia. Stay tuned to hear more.
From donating canned foods to tying blankets, together, find out how we can help during Service Week. It's all coming up next.
The Ashland Center for Nonviolence explores violence in our communities, families, and even ourselves. Hear more when we come back. I'm Rana Hamiye.
And I'm Emily Tibbetts, and you're watching Ashland Two-Night News for local coverage you care about.
Stay tuned. This past Wednesday, World Cafe featured Armenia, the home country of Narine Dalakian. As an Ashland Tonight News reporter, I was there to cover the presentation. World Cafe is a monthly program that introduces us to the different countries in the world. International students at Ashland University are key elements in this show, for they take the task to introduce us to their own culture, history, food, and civilization. This time, Narine Dalakian, an Ashland University junior, talked about Armenia. Narine introduced the audience to the Armenian alphabet, which is made up of 39 letters. She taught them how to say hello and how are you in Armenian. Narine highlighted some differences between the American culture and her own. She said that most of the Armenian students commute to college, and most importantly, they do not drink. She also introduced the audience to Armenian dance. Narine explained that Armenia is also famous for its food. She showed how traditional Armenian bread, lavash, is made. She also prepared a traditional kind of Armenian dessert known as baklava to offer her audience. Everybody agreed it was delicious. And the audience could take home Armenian recipes so they could try cooking on their own. When asked about the cultural shock that she experienced in the United States, Narine said that the kindness of the American people surprised her. Next month, World Cafe will feature Saudi Arabia. All people who like to know about other countries in the world are invited to attend the November show. Reporting for Ashland Tonight News, I'm Rana Hamiye.
A time for change has been the theme this week as Ashland University celebrates Service Week. The Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity and the Alzheimer's Association kicked off the week on Saturday with the memory walk that started at 10:30 a.m. A canned food drive sponsored by the Delta Zeta sorority will continue throughout the week with drop-off stations on the first floor of any residence hall or in the Hawkins Conrad Student Center. The Social Work Club is also sponsoring its annual Skip a Meal promotion to raise money for the United Way of Ashland County. Tonight, the campus community is invited to Redwood Hall for the Project Linus blanket tying event that benefits children who have been traumatized. This week will continue through Saturday with a number of opportunities for service. For a complete listing of events, contact the AU Center for Community Service. The Ashland Center for Nonviolence held its meeting last Thursday. The meeting included a short video about Gandhi's Salt March and was followed with a discussion and reflection led by history professor Dr. Duncan Jameson. Gandhi's Salt March discussed the political and public situations that prevailed during the 1930s in India. It also highlighted the nonviolent protests that Gandhi led in order to liberate India from Britain. It showed how Gandhi exposed the injustices of that period and enlightened his people to their own power. Several issues included the possibility of applying Gandhi's means of nonviolence in our days. The organization will present in its coming meeting on October 29th an illustrated lecture by George and Louis Smith, veterans of the civil rights movement. The event will be free to the public and will take place in the Hawkins Conrad Auditorium in Ashland University. There will be no more long lines or less than private visits in the Samaritan Emergency Department after the completion of the expansion project. Breaking ground yesterday, Samaritan Regional Health System began an $8.5 million expansion program that will add over 16,000 square feet to the building and renovate over 22,000 square feet of the existing space. Complete renovation of the emergency department will allow for an increasing number of patients and private rooms for each patient. Trauma rooms and a bereavement room with a viewing room have also been added to increase efficiency and comfort.
The Ashland County Board of MRDD hired Jim Jones this Thursday after his resignation from the Superintendency of Ashland City Schools on July 30th. Jones will have to take about 5 courses or seminars related to the MRDD field in order to get his license after 3 years. One of Jones' major goals, as he said, is to inform people about the different programs that the MRDD has.
A mobile home caught fire yesterday morning at 10:10 a.m. in Polk on Township Road 530. Firefighters responded, but the trailer was mostly consumed by the flames upon their arrival. Investigators are not sure who owns the unoccupied home.
About 700 students were reported absent on Tuesday after the Monday's rumors of shootings among students in Mansfield Senior High. The Mansfield News Journal reported that the conflict started as a fight between 2 peoples in the cafeteria on Monday. Meanwhile, Superintendent Lloyd Martin assured that the school has a zero-tolerance policy for violence and encouraged parents to send their children for the school because the school is safe as any big school of this size should be.
About a dozen fires continue to range in 7 Southern California counties tonight. The fires have already burned nearly 600 square miles of land. Over 1,300 homes have been destroyed by the fires, and another 68,000 homes face similar fates. Over 500,000 Californians have been evacuated in one of the largest evacuation efforts ever in the state of California. 16 firefighters were injured while fighting the fires, and 1 person was killed as a result of the blazes. High winds continue to plague the state, making the containment efforts extremely difficult. It is estimated that the fires have already caused over $1 billion in damages.
The Space Shuttle Discovery launched into space Tuesday morning carrying a crew of 7 as well as a giant Tinker Toy type link that needs to be installed before the European and Japanese laboratories can arrive. Pamela Milroy is commanding the 2-week mission, making it only the 2nd time a woman has led a shuttle mission. In all, 5 spacewalks are planned, 4 to complete this construction job and 1 to test a new method for fixing damaged shuttle thermal titles. Up next, stay tuned for weather updates with Lee Gottlieb, only on Ashland Tonight News.
And now, another fact of Congress. Like a tree, our national government has 3 branches. First, there is the President of the United States, called the Executive Branch. The President is like your school principal. He makes important policy decisions on things like the environment and health care. He's also the Commander-in-Chief of the military. A second branch is Congress, called the Legislative Branch. The main job of the Legislative Branch is to debate and pass laws. They also oversee the activities of the President. Finally, there is the court system, or the Judicial Branch. Sometimes people disagree about what laws mean, so we ask judges to help us decide. The Supreme Court is the ultimate judge of the land. These 3 branches of government work together to form a complete system. And that's another fact of Congress.
Ashland Theological Seminary, transforming the world.
One pastor.
One counselor.
One city.
One campus.
One village.
One family.
One teacher.
One crisis. One missionary.
One shelter.
One church. Transforming the world, one student at a time.
As parents, we do whatever is necessary to ensure the health of our children. Sadly, most parents don't realize that their child's first eye exam with an eye doctor should be between the age of 6 and 12 months. I urge you to take your baby to an optometrist for a comprehensive eye assessment. It can literally change your child's vision of the future.
Infancy optometrists offer a no-charge eye assessment for infants 12 months old or younger. Call today to find an optometrist near you.
Welcome back. I'm Leland Gottlieb with your weather today. Let's shift our attention right to the current picture. As you can see, we have a low pressure system moving up the east coast. It's moving really slow though due to a high pressure system up north, which is acting like a shield and preventing the low to move up the coast. So we're seeing some pretty heavy rains to the south. This is going to move up into our area in the next day and a half or so, but not until Friday. Now, as we take a look at your visible satellite imagery, this is the cloud cover. You can see that a good third of the country is covered by this system, and we have some rain to the south. This will not change for the next few days, maybe not even until next Sunday or so. And with this, we have some lower temperature readings. As you can see on the current temperature map, you can see that temperatures are pretty cool for this time of the year, even to the south in the 50s in New Orleans in that area. Up here, we're also in the 50s, as you can see. And just to the west, we have some cooler readings. Up at International Falls right now, it's 39 degrees. We'll have some milder readings move into our area tomorrow. As we take a look at your 3-day forecast, you can see that Thursday will be in the 60s, low 60s, as well as Friday, but we'll have some showers move in. And right now, Saturday is not looking that nice at all with windy conditions and showers. That's all I have for weather. Here's Brendan with sports.
Thanks, Lee. Let's get straight to the action in AU sports. The Ashland football team continued its hot streak with its fourth straight victory, beating Ferris State 37-35. The teams alternated scoring all afternoon, but Ashland's defense made the difference, forcing a safety in the second quarter to account for the difference in the game. Backup quarterback John Ferguson, playing for injured starter Billy Cundiff, went 18 for 28 for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. John Schroeder ran for 20 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Dwan Harvey chipped in 97 yards. The 5-1 Eagles ranked 5th in the Northwest Regional poll and need to be in the top 6 to clinch a playoff berth. Ashland travels to in-state rival Findlay on Saturday to play the 4-4 Oilers. The women's soccer team swept 2 matches this weekend, beating Saginaw Valley 1-0 on Friday and defeating Northwood 6-0 on Sunday. Danny Lamb provided the difference maker in Friday's victory with the goal in the 50th minute. The Eagles scored early and often against Northwood, getting 2 goals from Beth Moore and 1 each from Kelly Usher, Aaron Charnley, and Courtney Schuster. AU is 7-8-1 overall and 3-3-1 in the GLIAC. They can clinch a GLIAC playoff berth and possibly a home playoff game with a win against Findlay at home on Saturday at noon. The volleyball team won 2 matches in Erie this weekend with 3-0 sweeps of Gannon and Mercyhurst. Mary Kate Glow led the Eagles with a combined 27 kills in the 2 matches, earning her GLIAC South Division Player of the Week honors. Glow is 3rd in the GLIAC this season with 4.56 kills per game and 6th with 4.49 digs per game. Ashland is 23-3 overall and 12-2 in the GLIAC South, a half game ahead of Hillsdale for first. The Eagles are ranked 9th in the country, the highest ranking ever for the program. Ashland hosts Findlay on Friday at 7 p.m. at Cates Gymnasium. The men's and women's cross-country teams competed in the GLIAC Championships on Saturday. The men finished 3rd in the GLIAC behind, guess who, Grand Valley and Wayne State. The Eagles' top finisher was junior Jeremy Train. He finished 8th in the meet with a time of 26:02. The men are ranked 3rd in the region and 15th in the country. The women took 9th at the meet. Again, Grand Valley won the women's championship. AU's top runner was junior Becky Yoder with a time of 23:43 in 20th place. Both teams will travel to the regional meet at SIU Edwardsville on November 3rd. The women's tennis team continued its record-breaking season with a tight 5-4 victory at Mercyhurst on Saturday. Myra Pepino, Megan Stahl, Chelsea Guerin, and Morgan Sanders all won singles matches. The doubles team of Chelsea Guerin and Krista Halicki won 9-8 and 8-6 in the tiebreaker at third doubles to provide the difference for the Eagles. Ashland finished the fall regular season 15-2, 7-2 in the GLIAC for 3rd place, its highest finish ever. They travel to Midland, Michigan this weekend for the GLIAC tournament. Congratulations and good luck to the tennis team as they seek the program's first conference championship. The men's soccer team lost 2 games this weekend to Saginaw Valley and Northwood by scores of 4-2 and 3-2. All the goals in the 4-2 loss to Saginaw came in the final 22 minutes of action. AU cut into leads of 2-0 and 3-1, but could not get the equalizer. Against Northwood, Ashland tied the game at 2 going into halftime, but couldn't score on several opportunities in the second half, including a missed penalty kick. The Eagles are 0-15-1 on the season and play Findlay on Saturday at 2:30 on Senior Day for their final home game. There is a chance AU could have to make up a postponed game next week at Northwood if it could affect the Timberwolves' playoff seeding. The AU swim teams were also in action beginning their season at the Rec Center against Indianapolis. The men lost 136-95 in the season opener. Sean McGraw, Ben Monty, and Jonas Jeffsell all finished first in their events. The men's freestyle, 400-meter, and 400 medley relay teams also toppled Indy. The women also lost a close match with Indy, 106-99. Allison Morgan, Nicole Birchmeyer, and Katie Cheney took home first-place finishes. The AU women are now 1-2 on the season. Both teams go on the road this weekend, first to Findlay on Friday, then all the way to Edinburgh Saturday for a tri-meet with IUP. That's a wrap on all your Eagle sports for the week, and don't forget to check out the volleyball match on Friday at 7 p.m. in Kate's Gym. Also, the soccer Senior Day doubleheader is on Saturday at the AU Complex for the final home games of the season. I'm Brendan Bittner. Stay tuned for entertainment news with Jake Beckley up next on Ashland 2 Night News.
Our children want to know everything about the world around them. And yet sometimes what they discover makes them feel vulnerable and insecure. In times like these, they need the comfort of an adult, the honesty of parents, and playtime to help them deal with their feelings and fears. Time that will literally heal their hearts. The gift of imagination allows children to see a better world. Playtime allows them a chance to practice creating it. Don't underestimate the power of play.
But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back. A recent U.S. survey conducted by an online market research group has found out that celebrities do not influence people's views on political candidates. Only 16% of the people polled said that endorsements by celebrities that they admired would positively affect their perception of the political candidate. 10% of those polled admitted that they would actually have a negative perception of a candidate if they were backed by a celebrity, even if they liked the celebrity. The poll found that it is more common that voters will turn to family, friends, civic or church leaders, and their chosen media as influences in their voting decisions, especially when it came down to issues such as healthcare, national security, and the economy. Though when pollers asked what celebrities might have the most negative impact on a voter, the most common names to appear were Rosie O'Donnell, Tom Cruise, Madonna, Jane Fonda, and Donald Trump, while the most positive influential celebrities listed were George Clooney, Angelina Jolie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bono, and Al Gore. Actor Tom Hanks, who starred in such movies as Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, Castaway, and That Thing You Do, has posted a video on his personal MySpace webpage showing his support for all electric cars to help him to connect with his fans. The electric car that Hanks drives was originally created from a Zion XB and is called an e-box. Hanks will post part 2 of this video on his MySpace in the near future. Las Vegas lounge singer and performer Robert Goulet is listed in critical condition as he awaits a lung transplant in an LA hospital. The 73-year-old Goulet was recently diagnosed with interstitial pulmonary fibrosis. He spent 12 days in a Las Vegas hospital before being transferred to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA on October 13th of October. Goulet first became famous in 1960 when he performed in the popular Broadway musical Camelot. He has won Grammy, Tony, and Emmy Awards. Our thoughts go out to him and his family. The Hollywood blockbuster Transformers has sold about 8.3 million copies during its first week on DVD in North America. So far, Transformers is the fastest-selling DVD of the year, beating out movies like 300, Happy Feet, Night at the Museum, and The Departed. Transformers grossed more than $700 million at the worldwide box office, and a sequel is in the works. And finally, this week in the box office, the number 5 movie is The Comebacks at $5.5 million, followed by Michael Clayton at $6.6 million, and at number 3 is The Game Plan at $8.1 million, then Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married at $12.1 million, and at number 1 this week in the box office is the Josh Hartnett horror flick 30 Days of Night at $15.9 million. This has been your entertainment news this week. I'm Jake Beckley. Stay classy, Ashland. Now let's hear from Natina Keys for your weekly health updates.
Thanks, Jake. Doctors say that smoking when you're pregnant can be harmful to your baby, but women in West Virginia don't appear to be listening. The U.S. Department of Health says that 27% of pregnant women in West Virginia smoke. That's the highest rate in the country. Smoking during pregnancy increases the risk of low birth weights and babies' premature birth. It can also lead to a host of health problems and illnesses for the infant. The Department of Health says they aren't sure why the pregnant women are smoking, but they say it's obviously that programs designed to curb smoking among pregnant women are not working. The next time your child gets a cold, don't forget to give them over-the-counter cold medicine. That's according to the FDA. They say the medicines don't work in children under 6. And even worse, they could cause devastating side effects. Makers of the drugs say that they are perfectly safe for children, and any problems come when parents don't follow the instructions correctly. However, the FDA says that parents should check with their doctors before doing anything to treat a cold in a child. They say even when the instructions are followed, the drugs can still be harmful. If you're trying to get your kids to eat healthy foods, you may be able to trick them into it. That's according to the 2 new cookbooks out this week. The authors of The Sneaky Chef and Deceptively Delicious says that the trick is to smash up the healthy foods and then mix them in with the less healthy snacks that kids crave. For example, they suggest smashing up fruits and adding them to chocolate pudding, or doing the same thing to vegetables and mixing them in with macaroni and cheese. Though the books appear to contain similar recipes, they are both flying off the shelves. There's no word yet on whether the kids are actually falling for the trick or not. It looks like the Department of Health may not be doing enough to fight obesity. Critics say their new ad campaign is way too soft and isn't likely to make anyone want to lose weight. The new program is called Small Steps, and it is designed to show adults easy things they can do to change their lifestyles and lose weight. The creators of the campaign said it is supposed to make people feel encouraged about losing weight, not discouraged. The new campaign will cost $1.5 million a year. It looks like pigs may soon be helping diabetics again. Scientists at Washington University say that transplanted cells from the pancreas of pigs into diabetic monkeys. After the treatment, they say the monkeys needed less insulin in order to control their disease. The procedure was also easier than current methods used in humans. Before the synthetic insulin was created in the 1980s, insulin from pigs was routinely used to treat those with diabetics. That is all the health news I have for you this week. I'm Natina Keys, only on Ashland Tonight News. We'll be right back.
My father taught me a lot about life, without ever saying a word. When I was a little girl, my friends were all just like me. His never were.
Hello, hello.
Didn't you bring them, George?
I thought you were going to.
No, I brought them last time.
You all right? I forgot. All right, so we'll be with...
I used to wonder, why would a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim ever get together?
It was him!
And then I finally got it. They had a lot more in common than donuts.
Friendship. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
With diabetes, you feel more vulnerable.
Every day is a new challenge.
Diabetes has made me improve my life. I take better care now.
I could actually die from the flu.
Being in control is the only way to survive.
A flu shot? Guess you could say it's like a life preserver when you have diabetes.
I'm going to ask my doctor for a flu shot today.
1 in 8 Americans goes hungry. One idea helped change that. A community started a garden that blossomed into farmers markets. 1 in 6 children lives in poverty. One group of women found an answer by opening a daycare center that their neighbors could afford. Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty. But one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
Welcome back to Ashland Tonight News.
Seniors, don't forget graduation applications are due on November 1st and to be turned into the registrar's office with a $75 graduation fee. Any applications turned in after November 1st will have to pay a late fee.
Also, to all AU students interested in taking a class as satisfactory or unsatisfactory, forms are due this Friday to the registrar's office by 5:00 p.m.
Friday is also the last day to register for Family Weekend. There is activities that appeal for all ages. You can spend time visiting campus, cheering on the Eagles, enjoying a theater event, or risking your luck at Monte Carlo night.
This Saturday night, join Tech Crew with a movie night at 9 p.m. in the Student Center's auditorium. They will be showing the movie The Reaping.
So what are you doing this weekend?
I'm not sure. I hope the rain holds off so I can go enjoy the nice weather if it's nice.
Yeah, let's hope Lee was wrong and the rain holds off. I know I've got a semi-formal for my fraternity this Saturday, and I'm hoping that'll be a good time.
Yeah, hopefully the weather will be sunny these days.
Well, that does it for tonight, Ashland Tonight News. Don't forget to email your questions to ask the president himself what Finks thinks.
We would just like to thank our TV2 crew, and if you are interested in helping out with Ashland's TV station, you can email tv2@ashland.edu.
That's right, and don't forget to join us next week. We'll be right here in the studio on Wednesday at 5.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.